Hi, in this video we're going to take a look at the contour toolpath that's available in the CNC-Calc module of the editor. So we're going to go into the editor setup and make sure that CNC-Calc is enabled. So we click on plugins and just make sure that the disable CNC-Calc is not ticked. Click on OK. And then we're going to go to the CNC-Calc tab and open our tutorial drawing. Okay, we're just going to check to make sure what file type we have loaded. This will determine the output that we get. So we're going to select ISO milling and we're going to click on the contour milling icon. Enter a comment for the toolpath. So I'm just going to type in contour here and this will appear in the G-code output. Next we select the geometry that we're going to contour, and where we select it determines the toolpath direction. So we're going to go around clockwise here and click on parameters. So we're going to select the diameter for the tool, 10, and the depth settings for what depth we're going to start and finish at. So we'll start at 0 and finish at -5. The amount of stock to leave in X and Y, 0, and stock to leave in Z, 0. So we're going to finish the part. Compensation. We have different options here for calculating the colour compensation. So we can select between computer. The CNC-Calc will take in the diameter of the tool into account. Controller G41, 42, and the wear options is a combination of both computer and controller. So we're going to let CNC-Calc calculate the compensation, and we're going to say left hand side, so we're going to go around on the outside of the part. The side cuts, X and Y cuts. So we have roughing and finishing passes here. So with 2 passes with spacing of 2 mm and finish pass. And 1 finish pass with spacing of 0.1 mm. The finish pass we can do at all the depth cuts, or we can just do it at the final depth cut. Overlap distance, so we can send the tool past the start point just to remove any little burrs. Depth cuts, so these are the cuts in Z, so we have roughing cuts of 2 mm and use even depth cuts, so every depth cut is the same. Finishing cuts in Z. Helix linearization. If there are any helix moves in the toolpath, we can convert these to G1 moves for some older controllers that don't support helix moves. Toolpath linking, how we move between the contours and the depth cuts. Lead in, lead out of the toolpath. So we're going to enable that, and then we can type in the line length to lead on to the contour. And that line can either be perpendicular or tangent to the contour. We can use an arc to lead on as well. So I'm going to put a radius in there and then the sweep angle for the arc, 90 degrees. And we can copy those to the lead out settings. Let's copy them over. Once we're happy, click on the OK button. And when we click the Show Toolpath button, the toolpath is shown on the screen. So you can see our X and Y cuts there, and the lead in, lead out. We're going to export that to the clipboard. So the toolpath is now converted to G code. And we're going to go into our editor tab, and we're going to go to the end of the file that we did for the facing, and we're going to paste the code into the editor there. So now we have the toolpath for facing and the contouring. We go back to our CNC-Calc tab and use the feed and speed calculator to generate the tool change line for us. It's tool number 2, diameter. So we type in the parameters for the tool, and you can see that the speed and feeds are calculated, and we can adjust those if necessary. So once we're happy with that, we can export that to the clipboard again and go back to our editor window with the G code in. And now we need to search for our contour comment, and this will find the start of the G code for the contour toolpath. Okay, so it's found it. Close that search window. Now we can paste in our code for the tool change command with speeds and feeds. Okay, so now I have a tool change in.